Okay, so I'm recording a video on mental hygiene law, Article 81. I'm not going to do all of it, but I'm going to try to do the stuff that I think is important, or to hit most of the stuff I can get on this video. So here we go. So 81.02, the court may appoint a guardian for a person if the court determines that the appointment is necessary to provide for the personal needs of that person, including food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, or safety, and or to manage the property and financial affairs of that person. And then also that the person agrees to the appointment or that the person is incapacitated. And then also that the person agrees to the appointment or that the person is incapacitated. So basically the person has to either agree to the appointment of this guardian, or they have to be incapacitated and basically they can't agree. The determination of incapacity shall be based on clear and convincing evidence and shall consist of a determination that a person is likely to suffer harm because the person is unable to provide for personal needs and or property management, and the person cannot adequately understand and appreciate the nature and consequences of such inability. So again, the determination has to be on clear and convincing evidence, and it has to be that they're likely to suffer harm because the person is unable to provide for personal needs and or property management, and the person cannot adequately understand and appreciate the nature and consequences of such inability. Okay, so in reaching its determination, the court shall give primary consideration to the functional level and functional limitations of the person, which shall include an assessment of that person's, now it's 4 things. It's the management of the activities of daily living. It's an understanding and appreciation of the nature and consequences of any inability to manage the activities of daily living. It's preferences, wishes, values with regard to managing the activities of daily living. And it's the nature and extent of the person's property and financial affairs and his or her ability to manage them. Court shall consider all other relevant facts and circumstances regarding the person's 1, functional level, and 2, the understanding and appreciation of the nature and consequences of his or her functional limitations. Okay, so 8103 is definitions, so I'm not going to go through everything. So a guardian is a person who is 18 or older, and it can be a corporation or a public agency, including a local department of social services, appointed in accordance with terms of this article by the Supreme Court, the Surrogates Court, or the County Court. Supreme Court, the Surrogates Court, or the County Court. So again, a guardian for mental hygiene law can only be appointed by the Supreme County Surrogates. No family. Supreme County Surrogates. And it's basically to act on behalf of an incapacitated person in providing for personal needs and or for property management. Functional limitations are the behavior and conditions of a person which impair the ability to provide for personal needs and or property management. I don't know why that's so important, but just remember, it's always going to be personal needs and or property management. It either means that, like, for them to take care of themselves or to take care of some sort of property. We got on definitions. I don't know how Mary makes these videos all the time. Okay, available resources are resources such as visiting nurses, homemakers, home health aides, adult daycare, and multi-purpose senior citizen centers. It can also be trusts, protected payees, residential care facilities, powers of attorney, and personal needs. So personal needs are things such as food, clothing, shelter, safety, healthcare. Life-sustaining treatment. That's medical treatment which is sustaining life functions and without which, according to reasonable medical judgment, the patient will die within a relatively short period of time. And then a mental hygiene facility is a facility, hospital, or school, or an alcoholism facility in New York State. So again, a mental hygiene facility is a facility, hospital, or school, or an alcoholism facility in New York State. 8104 has to do with jurisdiction. We touched on this before. It's Supreme Court, county courts outside of New York City, and surrogates court. So again, it's Supreme Court, county courts, surrogates court. 8105 has to do with venue. And basically, the proceeding shall be brought in the Supreme Court within the judicial district or in the county court of the county in which the person alleged to be incapacitated resides or is physically present, or in the surrogate's court having jurisdiction. So again, a proceeding has to be brought either in the Supreme Court within the judicial district or in the county court of the county in which the person alleged to be incapacitated resides or is physically present. And then also it can be done in the surrogate's court that has jurisdiction. Okay, now 8106 is who may commence a proceeding, and it is a long list, so I'm going to really hope that they don't ask this question. But who may commence a proceeding? It's a person alleged to be incapacitated. It's a presumptive distributee of the person alleged to be incapacitated. It's a person with whom the person alleged to be incapacitated resides. It's the trustee of a trust when the alleged incapacitated person is or may be the grantor or a beneficiary of that trust. It can be the executor or administrator of an estate when the alleged incapacitated person is or may be the beneficiary of that estate. It can be a person otherwise concerned with the welfare of the person alleged to be incapacitated.
Alleged to be incapacitated may include a corporation or a public agency, including the Department of Social Services in the county where the person alleged to be incapacitated resides, regardless of whether the person alleged to be incapacitated is a recipient of public assistance. 7. The Chief Executive Officer, or the designee of the Chief Executive Officer, of a facility in which the person alleged to be incapacitated is a patient or resident.